A team in a similar position to the Cubs is the Giants, where it's like they have spent enough money and made enough of a commitment to this season that completely blowing it up right now just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. San Francisco is 3 games back in the wild card, even though they are 3 games under 500, which again, still just so freaking funny. They paid for Snell and Matt Chapman over the winter. What do they need?
Wow.
I think like Barry Bonds.
No, it'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, who else do they pay for? Jung-Hoo Lee, who was off to a nice start and then had a season-ending injury, right? So that was a tough bounce. Obviously, what's happened with Snell, and he looked awesome, right before he's just kind of we could have an awesome Snell second half. Like that's not impossible to fathom either. But they're also in a situation where, all right, what would you really be dealing away? I think they don't have a choice. I think they just have to push forward, and I hope they start playing better. They've just have too much invested in this group. It's not a great spot to be, but yeah.
They finally pulled the plug on Nick Ahmed, and they are going with a Tyler Fitzgerald, Brett Wisely platoon at shortstop. Tyro Estrada at second base has been really underwhelming this season, which is unfortunate because he's a fun player. That might be a place they try and upgrade. But the lineup really, like Soler, Lamont Wade, Ramos, who's been amazing, Bailey, Conforto, Chapman, Yastrzemski. Again, it's a lot of 50 players. It's a lot of like average big leaguers. Boy, this team could use Shohei Ohtani. But they don't suck, right? And so if they can find a way to kind of upgrade.
Like honestly, the talent here and like when the bullpen's cooking, like I don't think this team's that much worse than some of these other ones. Like I know the minus 27 run differential says otherwise, but I don't know. I think they're more likely to push forward than the Cubs are.
Yep.
I don't know how you feel about that.
I think I agree with you. I think that's definitely the right read. Let's stay in the NL West before we take a break. Dodgers are atop this division. They don't need to sweat in that regard, but at this point they're planning for October. And the big issue for them has been injuries, specifically pitcher injuries. Kershaw looks like he's going to be back pretty soon, which is going to help them. The Glasnow injury doesn't seem to be too serious. That is encouraging. However, Yamamoto, Buehler, and May is done for the year with whatever happened to his esophagus. Buehler is just like working out at Cressy at a private facility, which is confusing. Bobby Miller is in AAA, and Yamamoto is not eligible to return until, I believe, mid-August because he's been on the 60-day DL.
Just got moved to the 60-day. Yeah.
Right. So
by the way, can we also say, someone else has pointed this out, the fact that James Paxton has been the healthiest Dodger is really
unbeliable. Congrats to him.
I'm happy for him. Happy for James Paxton. I still don't think they would like him starting a postseason game. But like at this point, we talked about him as like, all right, well, they're going to help him he's going to help get them through the regular season. Well, that's now more true than ever because my God, do they just need someone out to go out there and throw 5 innings, no matter how good or bad they are. And he's at least done that. And his ERA is, 4.38 and 84 innings. And God bless him. Gavin Stone and Landon Knack have both been really solid. I think that we were wondering which of those would actually get the opportunity to pitch, but I mean, that's the real question here is, are they actually still going to pursue starting pitching, even though in theory they have all these guys that will be there in the second half?
Yes. They are going to get some sort of bulk starter who can munch up innings, not necessarily someone who is going to start a postseason game. Aaron Savali would have, like that type of thing.
Right.
You know? So, and then on the offensive side, this is a stat from an article at The Athletic that Fabian Ardaya wrote. Dodger hitters not named Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, Will Smith, Hernandez, Muncy. Muncy's been hurt. Have combined to hit 218, 288, 336 combined for an 80 WRC plus. The bottom of this lineup has just been horrible. Muncy does not look like he's going to come back anytime soon. You could probably squint and say, not even squint, this team probably needs another outfield bat. Whether they're aggressive and they go for Randy or Luis Robert, I don't know. Maybe Jazz. Seems like an interesting fit there. They need one more outfield bopper that they can feel comfortable with. The issue they're going to have, right, is it's got to be someone who can play the outfield because Ohtani is going to DH every day, as he freaking should. Staying in this division, the Padres, I think, could use one more bench bat. Their bench is about, the weakest in the league as far as contenders are concerned. I think they need one more reliever and one more starting pitcher. I don't think they need any starters who can start a playoff game for them. However, GM AJ Preller could just trade for Garrett Crochet before this podcast is over.
Yeah, I mean, the other starters we haven't really mentioned yet. Maybe this will come up with the AL, but besides Crochet, and I really don't think Scooble's getting traded, and I'm still not even really convinced Crochet's going to get traded, but we'll see. Flaherty, right? I mean, Flaherty's the one at the top of the rental starters list. Eric Fetty sort of falls into that category too, although he's more of like guy that, of course, bulk guy versus guy you want starting game one. But maybe some teams view him as such. I feel like Fetty's just like a way better version of Savali. Littell and Eflin from the Rays are ones that I would certainly keep an eye on for the Dodgers. But I just wanted to mention some of those. And then the Rockies, who knows? Like Cal Quantrill's been awesome, but I'm sure the Rockies now think he's, the greatest pitcher in franchise history. So I don't know if they're going to want to trade him.
The Rockies are North Korea. They don't trade. Maybe sometimes they do. It's like, it's impossible to predict what they're going to do. We just have no idea. Arizona, last team here, I think they're pretty good. They've been really banging the ball over the last month or so. They need more bullpen help. Their bullpen's rough, but remember, like they're going to get whatever the hell Jordan Montgomery is back soon. And then Eduardo Rodriguez, who they paid a lot of money for in the offseason, still hasn't pitched. He's expected back sometime soon. Between those two, Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen, and Brandon Pfaadt. Kelly, I think, is set to come back soon. He's been hurt. That's a legit five, right? Yeah, even if you don't know what you're getting from Rodriguez and Montgomery, like that's a legit starting rotation. I think if this team solidifies their bullpen, they could easily get back into the postseason.
Yeah, I agree. Shouts out Yilbert Diaz, looking good in his spot start. I would just say too, like that's nice. First of all, Montgomery's been like downright horrific, so it's not even just like, oh, what are we getting? Hopefully you're getting back, but like, yeah, Erod's the one that could certainly swing it in a much more positive direction. But I still look at this bullpen that they barely changed. Thank goodness for Justin Martinez, who it's like, where was this guy last year? I mean, he's one of the hardest throwers in baseball. He's been absolutely nasty, 23-year-old throwing 100. But Sewald certainly had his struggles. Ginkel up and down, looked a little bit better lately. But I agree with you. I think the way that this offense is hitting, I think they're also likely to push forward. I just don't know what pieces that they have. So of this NL mix here.
Yeah, give me your prediction. What do you think? Yeah. How do you think this ends up?
I think it'll be, I think Cardinals Padres. I feel pretty good about Cardinals Padres.
Ready for a little spice?
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe this, but I'm certainly going to say it. Cardinals chase down the
Brewers.
First time. That's for sure. Cardinals chase the Brewers down in the division.
Ooh.
And I'll go.
Be right. A Cardinals division pick survives.
I know.
Woohoo!
I'll go Braves. Ooh. I'll go Braves, Brewers, Diamondbacks.
Okay.
I think is where I'm at. Although the the problem is I believe in one team too many. Like I believe in the Padres. There's not room for them there. Sorry, boys.
I'm just going to take a quick gander at strength of schedule. Okay, so just throwing it out there, the Padres and Giants appear to have a much easier schedule than any of these other teams the rest of the way. So
raise the banner.
Yeah, again, is that going to be enough for them to get to play, the White Sox and Marlins and Rockies 7 more times? I guess we'll find out. It's all close enough. But yeah, I think Cardinals and Padres are my picks.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll do the American League a little bit faster than we did the National League. And welcome back to Baseball Barbacast. Jake Mintz, Jordan Shusterman. We just did the National League because we love our nation. Let's do the American League because we love America, even though I guess it's the same thing.
Hey, let me just say,
yeah,
no giant flag in Texas. One of the biggest shocks of the week. Giant flag, one of my favorite parts of any All-Star game or World Series. And when you have that large of a stadium and that large of a state and that large of everything's bigger in Texas, I could not believe we did not have a giant flag. And that was by far the biggest disappointment of All-Star Week. Anyway.